Well, guys, Coaster Twitter has completely canceled me, and here's why. I've been really wanting to talk about this for a while and talk about how just terrible my opinions about coasters have been. And you guys did not help me with this because of Instagram. So, really, I'm being canceled because of you. Thank you guys so much for participating. In talking about our horrible coaster takes on this channel, and especially on Twitter and Instagram and even on YouTube. I had a couple of different things on different social media where I asked what coaster opinions would get you canceled by coaster enthusiasts. And you guys did not disappoint. We've had so many of them that I've had to break up this video into 3 different parts on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. So go check out those other videos if you have not yet. But let's get right into this today. I hope you're ready and excited. Let's go. Twitter is the one social media that I just have almost no following on. So go check out my Twitter if you want to enjoy, because really I do more personal stuff on that because there are fewer people on it. But it also got by far the most engagement, which I think is really fun too. So let's get into this. So what I actually said on Twitter was, what's a coaster opinion that you have that will make the enthusiasts hate you? I'll start. Steel Vengeance is not the best ride at Cedar Point. Now, this may be the reason why we see some of this stuff coming up, especially about RMCs, but we'll talk about that in just a little bit. RMC trains are amazing. Canada's Wonderland is my favorite part. Positive G's is better than negative G's. Hurler does not need to be RMC'd. Millennium Force is the best coaster at Cedar Point. RMCs really aren't the best thing in this universe. Calm down. And I agree with that, especially with a good GCI too. I like both of these wooden coaster manufacturers, which they are wooden coaster manufacturers. I'm sorry that you want to call them a hybrid because you think that sounds cooler. Let them be wooden coasters. They've always had metal tracks. That doesn't mean they're a hybrid, even though that's what they want to brand them as. It's dumb. Anyway. There's my hot take for you. Let me know what you think of that down in the comments. RMC is not the best manufacturer in the world, which really is funny that I'm seeing so much of this on Twitter, because I do think on Twitter is where more of the Thuzy audience resides rather than on my YouTube page, because they know, a lot of Thuzys know that I'm not really for Thuzys, even though there are also a lot of Thuzys that really enjoy my channel and stuff. But it's less of a just Thuzy kind of a thing, because I'm more into the entertainment and into a lot of other things, into the food and the drinks and things like that. But I say that all the time. Things like that. It's my favorite new phrase to say, apparently. Maybe I should make a t-shirt that says things like that. I'm wondering if the Thuzy community is kind of tiring on RMCs, and that's the reason why we're seeing this new RMCs aren't that great, don't worry about them, you know. I'm surprised at it, but it's kind of refreshing to me too. Okay, and then Intamin reposted my post. Nitro is the best B&M hyper in the business. Max Force launch was better than Dragster, so I guess air launch is better than hydraulic. Haha. Thanks for commenting, Pablo. If you guys haven't gone to check out Ghoster Coasters, go check them out, because that's who Pablo Scooby is on YouTube. So go check him out. You can always check out any of these people too, and I encourage it. These are so many of great coaster enthusiasts. Go check them out and go commiserate with them down in the comments of their own channels and of their own Twitter spaces. So that's part of the reason why I'm making these videos too. It's a great way for us to kind of get to know each other better as a community and all kind of coalesce a bit more together. So I think that's part of the fun. I call it Midverick for a reason. 99% of the time, Thuzys only notice rattles because they're actively looking for them. Also, forceless is an annoying, overused word, and 99% of the time it's just used as it doesn't have airtime. Also, just because the op didn't minimum verify you doesn't mean you got stapled. So the next one is, Montu is the best ride in the park. Those trims on Magnum are badass. Now you're just trying to piss everybody off. Maverick in the Fog from Cutthroat Cove wins all day. And I completely agree with this. I love Maverick during Halloween weekends. It's one of my favorite things, especially when you go into the tunnel and then it's just filled with fog and you can't see anything. Onion 287. Onion 287. Peterson, I'm mad at you. But honestly, though, Peterson, which one would you rather have? Would you rather have a lift hill of 300 or a drop of 300? Which one makes the ride better? It's the drop. It's the drop. Iron Gwazi has a rattle. Caleb said, no idea how Fury keeps winning the golden ticket. I'm speechless because I don't know how it wouldn't win the golden ticket. Giga deniers are ugly, have bad hygiene, and don't love puppies or their mothers. I don't even remember reading that before. Kind of like the hot take. And then Adventures with Parker said, of course, it would be Maverick that's the best ride at Cedar Point, and I agree with that. It would be Maverick. Kyle Kavanaugh, hey Kyle, how are you doing? Val Raven doesn't deserve the hate, and Millennium Force is the best of the Cedar Fair Giga Coasters. Florida Coaster said B&M vests are more uncomfortable during the ride than Premier Ride's comfort collars. See, I disagree. Those comfort collars that like jiggle all around, those things are awful. I actually really like the vests from B&M. It feels like a hug, and I need a hug, guys. I'm really lonely. Every wooden coaster does not need the RMC treatment, and yes, I agree. Positives and laterals are better than airtime. See, I wouldn't even say anything's better than airtime. I would just say everything's different. The death roll is not a standout element on Iron Gwazi. Dives and wings, while usually not mind-blowing, are a lot of fun. Efteling isn't even the greatest park in Netherlands, let alone Europe. I prefer Toverland. Vest restraints are much better than hard OTSRs. They're much more comfortable and make little difference in airtime. Millennium Force is boring after the first drop and turn. No! Vekoma boomerangs really aren't that bad. Oh, I disagree with that. I hate Vekoma boomerangs. People don't know how to use the term forceless, and it leads to coasters that focus on things other than airtime to be hated. Facts. Facts. Magnum sucks! And Rougarou is way better than Millie. Rougarou is way better than Millie. I was there with you when you said Magnum sucks. Although I don't think it sucks, but at least I was tracking with you a little bit. But Rougarou is better than Millie? Oh, okay. Diamondback is the most overrated hyper. The theming is also important. It is why Disney's not generally as thrilling coasters make me just as happy. Feel like I'm in a train going up Mount Everest and it feels awesome, inversions or not. I fully agree in every possible way. RMCs are getting stale. I think Steel Vengeance is the best, but it's still not my favorite. There is such a thing as too much when it comes to coasters. For example, coasters like Kingda Ka are just not fun in my opinion. I actually really agree. I really think that a lot of these coasters, even like Raptor, it just throws too much at you. It's like just one element after another element, and there's never really a moment to like calm down and settle in and see what's happening. I think that's one thing I really like about Millennium is that you have those low to the ground thrills where you're going super fast, but you're just not really going over anything. You're not feeling like you're going to fly up out of your seat. When you go over the hills, it's such floater airtime that you just kind of have a moment just to kind of look around and see everything, and then you get back down, and you never feel like you're going to fly up out of your seat. It's not intense. It's just fun. It's smooth and it's enjoyable. And I think that's what I like about most coasters, if the coaster is one that I really like. I do think potentially even Maverick kind of throws too much at you all at one time. But yeah, I don't know. Again, though, every coaster's different, and that's part of what makes them fun. Slowed down, Lightning Rod was still elite. After having ridden over 800 coasters, including Egenica and Ride to Happiness, Magnum XL 200 is the greatest steel coaster of them all. The greatest wood one? That's the Beast. Kings Island's coaster collection is very average as a whole. Despite it being fast and tall, I think Kingda Ka is super boring, along with Dragster. Something about going up and right back down is super boring to me. Well, that'll change with Dragster. Top Thrill 2 is going to be very different. For the better or for the worst. We'll have to find out what you think. Wild Mouse at Cedar Point is better than Corkscrew. See, the problem is I wanted to say no. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. It is Corkscrew. So I'm not sure which one's worse, honestly. Airtime is not the only thing that makes a roller coaster elite. Lightning Rod at Dollywood isn't the best coaster in the park. Laterals are essential for a ride to be elite. Wild Mouse at Cedar Point is my favorite ride. Really? Making me want to drink, but your opinion is your opinion. Canada's Wonderland is my favorite park. Millennium Force isn't even one of Cedar Point's top 5 rides. Enthusiasts are insufferable. Fellow enthusiasts usually don't make good friends. Kings Island is not the world-class theme park that everyone says it is. The rides are good, especially Mystic Timbers, but they are not elite, and the park really needs a Maverick for a standout. Rip in Vertigo and have it go over the entrance. Yes, okay. I agree completely. Actually, one of my dreams for Kings Island is for them to rip off that whole front facade. And I hope that now that we know about Six Flags, I hope that Six Flags still ends up having like a similar facade that they've been doing at all of the different parks. Because Cedar Fair, I think that's a really iconic look. But yeah, I'd love to see Kings Island have a very similar type of a look and have a ride go right over the top that kind of flips. And as you walk in, that's the first thing that you see. Montu is not the best invert, and Cheetah Hunt is overrated. Cheetah Hunt is one of my favorite rides I have ever ridden. I probably do need to do a ranking just for fun. Let me know down in the comments if you'd like to see me rank all the rides that I've ridden, at least I can think of anyway. I'd love to maybe do that. So let me know down in the comments if that's something you'd like to see. But yeah, Cheetah Hunt, I had so much fun on Cheetah Hunt, and I would ride it over and over and over. I don't find it overrated in any possible way. Tim Stacy says Blue Streak is one of the best coasters at Cedar Point. Oh no. I can't. Rougarou is a good ride. Raging Bull is the best B&M change my mind. Son of Beast was one of Kings Island's most ambitious roller coasters. I prefer B&M hypers like Diamondback and Intimidator over Fury 325. Maverick is hugely overrated, or Kumba needs to be retired. Not sure which one triggers people more, just never been a fan of Maverick in the slightest and don't understand its popularity. Velocicoaster is a decent coaster at best. Great theming, but the ride layout and experience itself has just never really done it for me. And actually, same. I completely agree with you, Sex on Tracks. I did not like that ride. Velocicoaster just wasn't that great. It was a ride that I thought was fun, but again, talk about it, something throwing too much at you. It was just too much. There was no moment of being able to kind of calm down and see things. It just goes faster and faster and faster throughout, which I think is what a lot of people like about it. So I'm not like knocking that other people like it. Obviously they do. I mean, it has massive lines constantly, but to me, it didn't feel as much fun or as themed as I would have liked for it to be. I would have loved for it to have been just really low to the ground all the way through and just like tight curves and like moments where it threw you back and forth like you're actually racing a Velociraptor. Like that would have been the themed experience I was looking for. But instead you like go way up and like it breaks the immersion to me because I'm like, well, why would we be doing that when we just allowed the Velociraptors to come find us? And I know I'm overthinking it, but that's what a themed experience is. It's a themed experience. Like it should match what the experience is supposed to be. So yeah, you're right. To me anyway, it doesn't do it for me either. Thank you guys so much for hanging out today. Twitter was crazy. There was just so many things that you guys said. This was by far the longest one. So thank you guys for hanging out for it. It was really, really fun to hear you guys on Twitter. And if you haven't joined my Twitter, then go check it out. I'd love to have you guys hang out with me there. And like I said earlier, it gets more personal in that area also. If you haven't pressed that subscriber yet, If you haven't pressed that subscribe button yet, then what you doing? Press that subscribe button. That subscribe button makes you cool people, so you can join the rest of us cool people here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. And also, you can go check out merch. You can go find my Patreon if you want to support the channel. I still have all kinds of things that are coming out all winter long for you guys to enjoy. So thank you guys so much for hanging out, and let's go. Hey, thanks for watching. I release theme park related videos at least a couple times a week, so press that subscribe button if you made it this far. Also, check out similar videos in the playlist to the right or find my newest video to the left. Thanks again, and let's go!